Okay, so we're going to talk about tonality, as I said, and we're going to look at how we can use the chord pads to develop our progressions. So I have tonality in a MIDI channel, as you can see right here. Pure piano is right here for that. Don't worry about this channel over here. This is my microphone just so I can talk. So on pure piano, you'll see I just keep it standard. I'm not going to do a lot of additives to that. You can do whatever you want. You can add effects and things of that nature. But I did press those 3 lines, and I have chord pads connected to it. So if you open up chord pads, you generally open up with a 4x4, unless you change that. You'll see in the 3 lines up here that you can do scale chords. And I've talked about this before. Now we're going to use sevenths. I'm going to pick the minor scale, include the secondary dominants, and we're going to use B minor. And we click create. So what I usually like to do is, by the way, this is your piano up here, this little button. So if you have that, you can see the chords, what they're playing. Any of these chords can be changed, altered in whatever way you want. You can even add custom chords if you want to, but we're not going to get into that. We're just going to see how we can put together a 4-chord progression, something simple. And I'll show you a few things I like to use for changes. This little button down here, you'll see it changing in the right-hand corner, is your editing tools. So if you just swipe up or back, it'll go back. One of the things I like to start with is this one right here, the little arrow down. I don't like when the chords are too high up when I'm just making a progression, but it depends on the situation, to be honest with you. So I'm going to pick some chords, and then what we're going to do is change. First, we're going to change all the chords. We're going to move them, basically, if you touch double tap, you'll see we're moving them down an octave. So to do that, you hold down the arrow and then touch each pad. So now all the pads have been moved down an octave. And I'm going to pick 4 chords. There's my 4. Now, these other chords are kind of in the way, and I might not remember what I played. So what I'm going to do is this little button up here that's across from the pencil. I'm going to touch it, and it allows me to move the chords as I want them. So I'm going to put them in the order that I want to play them. So there's the D, there's the B, there's the E, and then I'm going to grab the F sharp minor 7. The rest of these chords, I'm actually going to get rid of them just because, for the sake of this video, you don't have to do that. We need to go back to the play mode and scroll on our tools until we get to this one. This is our delete, or clear, as they say in tonality. So if you hold it down and then touch all the chords you don't want, they'll disappear, right? Just get rid of them. Done. But let's say I want to strum a few of these chords, maybe the last 2. Sorry about that. There's this strum feature. So you can touch it, it's right here, and it'll open up the strum options. These are your settings, this little wheel. But let's say, so all you have to do is hold it down, and then it'll show you the notes, and then you run your finger up, and that's how you strum. Okay, but I only want to strum the last 2. I don't want to strum the first ones. And if I play in this mode, it will only let me strum. So how do I do that? Well, if you hold down this, you'll see this start shaking. So all you have to do is touch the ones that you want to strum. I'm going to strum that one and this one. Then release your hands, and it's done. Now close strum mode. And these are permanently, well, not permanently, but while you're set this way, they're set to strum. But they're kind of small. It's hard to see if you have fat fingers. So if you hit the lock button, it puts you in play mode. And what it does is it removes the empty pads. So now they're bigger. Of course, you could stretch a screen out, but if you're on a smaller iPad, how in the world are you going to do that? So let's be real. Just hit the lock button. It's better. So let's play. And that's cool. There's also the sustain feature. So you could hit the button, the D, hold down sustain, and you get that nice, lingering, beautiful piano sound, right? By holding down sustain. When you release, it goes away. But what about if your velocity is too repetitive, sounds the same? Well, inside here, you can see I have it already optimized as random velocity. You can change the velocity intensity, and it will vary. You can change the randomized attack by turning that on. I'm going to leave off randomized attack, but I showed you guys this before. If you touch the three dots, just like in, I think, Beatmaker 3, I told you, you can make the pads go from the top to the bottom. And if you watch that little velocity, wherever I move, it goes up and down. So leave that on if you want that. And then I actually put it at top, the wrong one. I usually do bottom to top, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's my favorite. You can do it however you like, but now that doesn't work on these, but if you're just playing the chords, it'll give you some variation in them, right? It doesn't vary on the strumming. So that's just something to remember when you're figuring out what you actually want to do. Okay, so now I think I'm done. I've shown you what I wanted to show you, which was some of the things you can do in tonality and why I like it. There's so much more, but we can only make so long of a video. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And of course, hit the sub and the like, and I'm always willing to answer and try to show you cool and new things, whatever you want to check out. So until the next one, I'm out.